Hello, welcome to Kush News, the newscast of the African diaspora. I'm your anchor, Ochanda, daily bringing you the top stories from Africa and the Caribbean. Let's take a look at today's news on Thursday, February 29th, 2024. We go to Chad, where the government has announced the leader of an opposition party being killed. The government of Chad has announced that Yaya Dio, the leader of opposition party, was killed during a gunfight with security forces. This comes after an attack at the country's capital city. Heavy gunfire was audible on Wednesday around the area of the country's headquarters for internal security. This followed an attack overnight on Tuesday, on which the country's internal security agency building where people were killed. The government blamed Dio and his party for the attack, although Dio had told reporters on Wednesday that he was not present at the attack. He claimed that the government was trying to intimidate him so that he wouldn't be able to run in elections scheduled for May 6th. Yaya Dio was a relative of President Idris Deby Itno, the interim leader that took control of Chad back in 2021 when his father had said to have been killed on the front lines. Those in Chad, let us know how you're taking all of this news about the opposition leader. Let's go to Egypt, where they welcome the Sudanese army leader. Egypt's President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi received the chairman of the Sudanese Transitional Sovereign Council, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, on Thursday at the Cairo International Airport. This to discuss enhancing bilateral relations and address regional and international issues. The visit comes while the war in Sudan between the Sudanese armed forces, spearheaded by al-Burhan, and the paramilitary known as the Rapid Support Forces, have been fighting and ongoing for nearly a year. Egypt has engaged in diplomatic efforts to bring an end to the war in Sudan, which has killed thousands and displaced around 8 million people. Of the almost 8 million people displaced, over 1.1 million people, including Sudanese refugees and refugees from other nationalities, have fled to Egypt and other neighboring states, according to reports by the United Nations. Egypt alone has received over 400,000 people, including 450,000 Sudanese, since the start of the war. This adds to the 5 million Sudanese already living in Egypt. Those in Egypt, let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you got a chance to see the Sudanese National Army leader. Let's go to Tanzania, where the second president has passed away. Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan has announced the passing of the country's second president, Hassan Mwinyi. Mwinyi served as president of Tanzania between 1985 and 1995. He succeeded the founding president, Julius Nyerere. Mwinyi was 3 months away from his 99th birthday. Mwinyi is credited for introducing multi-party elections and easing state control of the economy. Tributes have came in from regional leaders like Kenyan President William Ruto and Kenyan opposition leader Raila Odinga, saying that Mwinyi was a great African leader and statesman. Those in Tanzania, our condolences on behalf of Kush News go out to the second president and his family. Wow, 98 years old. Let's go to the Caribbean. And end it there. We go to Trinidad and Tobago, where the Prime Minister announces results from an ammunition operation. A joint operation between the Caribbean and the United States resulted in the seizure of over 300 firearms, 314 magazines, and almost 20,000 rounds of ammunition bound for the Caribbean. Speaking at a media briefing, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, said over 500,000 shipments were inspected during the operation named Operation Hammerhead. The exercise took place over the course of 3 weeks in September of 2023. This was an effort to crack down on the illicit firearms trade between the U.S. and Caribbean member states. The Prime Minister said that all other CARICOM states are also trying to reduce the threat of unsecured and obsolete weapons within their countries. The United States government has launched several initiatives to address firearms trafficking. Over the years, the U.S. has came under numerous criticisms from Caribbean leaders questioning how the distribution of weapons and ammunition from their country can be at the magnitude it is from a country that also claims that it wants world peace. Those in the Caribbean. Let us know your thoughts on the operation at hand. Let us know if you feel that it has been successful or is it needed. When we come back, we'll have today's African proverb of the day. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Let's take a look at today's African proverb of the day, and it comes to us from no particular African nation and or ethnic group, and it reads, food you will not eat, you do not boil. Once again, food you will not eat, you do not boil. African proverb. Food you will not eat, you do not boil. Stumped on this. Let me know your interpretation of today's African proverb of the day, as well as your thoughts, views, questions, comments, and concerns on the top stories. Don't forget to hit that like button. Make it your best friend. For Kush News on Kush Convos TV, I'm Ochanda. We'll see you soon.